Hey guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Today's video is going to be on this glowy dark vampy look. I wanted to get into the reds and the dark lip. I know I did a fall look before, but I wanted to go a little deeper. So if you want to see how I did this look, keep on watching. So going in with my Drunk Elephant C Tango eye cream, I always put an eye cream before any kind of eye look, mainly because of the fact it's going to hydrate and keep my skin nice and plump. This is actually going to help with brightening, and it also overall just helps the overall look of the eye. So remember to tap and never rub. I'm then going in with my Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C20 to go ahead and prime my eyes. Lately, this has been the only way I've been doing my primer for my eyes. Don't set it whatsoever. This has been godsend, going on so smoothly, and honestly, my eye look stays on all day, never budges, even if I don't set it. I do take my Morphe E20 brush just to blend everything in. Taking my Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to start with the shade Burnt Sienna, and I'm going to focus that as my transition color. The sienna color always goes on my lids super dark. It does look more of like an orangey brown, but it never ever goes on more orange. It's more brown. So I'm just going to go ahead and focus that on the outer corners, bringing that inwards. I am using one of the older Morphe brushes, I believe, so it doesn't have a number, but any fluffy blending brush will do. Going in with Burnt Orange, which is honestly a really great transition color too. I did feel like the first tone, Sienna, was way too brown. I wanted to bring a little bit more of the orangey tones, so I just went ahead a little bit over what I did before, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue to blend that all out. Going back into my palette, I'm going to take the shade Red Ochre, and I'm going to go ahead and start to bring these red tones into my look. We're not going to use any kind of shimmer or sparkles, so the red and the browns are actually going to be the main focus of this look. So I used the same blending brush. I didn't really switch around with many brushes because I felt like this was just perfect to use. And I'm going to start bringing that into my lid. And mind you, I did start bringing it down on the lid completely because of the fact that this look was going to be more like reds and browns. So I wanted to kind of have a nice transition where it kind of created like a natural ombre where it was darker towards the lid and then got lighter on the crease. So I just continued to blend until I really felt satisfied with the look. Going back into the palette, I'm going to take Cypress Umber, which is the dark brown, and I did switch brushes. This is the Morphe Bullet Crease brush, and I went ahead to start following my natural crease. And this might look weird and funky at first, but this is just so that I can kind of slowly create depth without getting this look to be too smoky and too dark. So I just went ahead and let's just focus the brown parts, and then I went back with Red Ochre right on top to soften the brown. I took a blending brush afterwards just to start to merge those shades together, and this is kind of like a weird technique, but every single time I like to do a smoky look without it being too harsh. This is exactly what I do, and for some reason the look just comes together. So I figured let me share my weird way of applying my eyeshadow. Went back in and just took a blending brush. I believe this was my Morphe E23 blending brush, and I put Red Ochre all over the lid to start to mix with the brown crease that I had added. Then I just took a clean blending brush just to blend out the edges so that it was a nice soft transition. Taking my YSL All Hours foundation in the shade B70, and I believe this is one of my Sephora brushes. I sprayed it with Mario Badescu sprayed, and I just went ahead and applied that all over my face. This is one of my favorite foundations. I've been using it in these past videos. Goes on really nicely. I don't know why, but sometimes it does look very, very light for me. So I definitely do other things as well, which you will see me adding other foundations and stuff just to warm it up. But my undertone is pretty weird, and my skin in general is weird, so different things just don't work for me. So I did take my Maybelline Fit Me, which is a little bit more warmer, has a little bit more cooler tone to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and merge those two together. And I know it kind of looks really orange on me, but with the concealer and everything, it just merges together. For concealer today, I'm taking the Tarte Creaseless Maracuja Oil, I believe, concealer in the shade Deep. I went ahead and went on under my eyes, my chin, my forehead. They do say this concealer is for dry skin types, but I find it totally fine. And they also say to blend it with your finger to warm up the product, but I like taking my Morphe E20 brush and just going ahead and buffing that under my eyes and wherever I placed it. It is a thick concealer. It is pretty creamy, so if you're not someone who really likes that consistency, you can totally use what you usually use, but I go back and forth with this concealer. Sometimes I'm totally okay with it, and other times I'm not. Sometimes, like in this instance, I had to go back with my foundation brush just to merge it together. And of course, to contour, I used my Fenty Matchstick in Espresso. I don't think I'll be changing my contour routine for a while because this just works so well for me. Taking my Airspun powder in translucent and a Real Techniques brush, I'm going to just dip it in there, and I'm going to set my under eyes. I really do like the setting powder, but I think it's starting to not work for me anymore. I'm so sad and bummed about it, but I am on the hunt for another powder. I might just go back to Laura Mercier, to be quite honest. Taking what's on the cap in a fluffy brush, I'm going to go ahead and just set other parts of my face that I didn't place the powder. Taking my Anastasia bronzer in the shade Mahogany, I'm going to go ahead and take this fluffy brush. This came from a cheap set on Morphe I don't know how much it was, to be quite honest, but it was pretty cheap, and I just go ahead and warm up my face. Like I said, this foundation's a little light on me sometimes. Then I'm going to take a Tarte contour palette, and unfortunately I think you can't get this anymore, which makes me super sad, but I'm just going to go ahead and use it to warm up my contour. Then I'm going to take my Real Techniques buffing brush just to buff away all the Airspun off my face. I'm going to go ahead with my Mario Badescu spray, and I'm going to spray the living life out of my face. Believe it or not, this is the only way that my translucent powder can melt into the skin. And also, it just creates a nice base for my highlighter, which as always, it's the Anastasia Amorisi. Can't get rid of the love of this highlighter. I use it pretty much for everything, and I don't think I ever will stop. But this is where the glowiness will come. This is just like the perfect highlighter for every look. And I apply it on my cheekbones, my nose, my chin, my forehead, in between the sides of my nose sometimes too. I learned that technique from M.M. Mitchell, and it just adds some glow. Going in with the shadows that I put on the top, on the bottom, to just kind of smoke everything out. And for lips, I'm actually going to take a Sephora Collection Cream Stain Lip in the shade Black Cherry. These are so comfortable, you guys, and they go on so smooth and so nice, and they last all day long. Honestly, one of my underrated matte lips that everyone should really, really try. as usual, I applied some roller lash before my falsies. I used the Jasmine Brown Allure in Curly Queen to complete this look. So there you guys have it, my glowy vampy look. I loved this look. I probably took like 50,000 selfies, but if you guys want to continue to see looks like this, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, and you can follow me on Beauty Edge Ellie on Instagram. So see you guys next time.